Welcome back, my little subscribers. In this video, I want to talk about 135mm lenses and why you should or shouldn't buy one. And this goes beyond just this Sigma. It comes from using several 135s. Hope you enjoy this. All right, so what you see on the screen are just a couple of examples from my time using the Sigma 135 f1.8. And I have to say, the 135 at 1.8 is a very special lens. Any of you that have ever used it, or if you've ever seen samples of it, know that there's a signature look to it. It just makes the image pop. It makes the subject stand out. It has the creamiest bokeh because of that compression combined with the 1.8. But I'm here to tell you that I think this is a very niche lens, a very specific lens that may not be for everybody. And I've found myself always wanting this focal length at this aperture because it's just an amazing result, but always looking back at how often I use it in reality, how much space do I have to use it, and just in general, am I taking it out for jobs or portrait shoots compared to other lenses? And it is unfortunate for me to just realize and say it out loud that as much as I love this lens, unless you have the budget to have extra lenses sitting around, or if you're looking to buy your portrait lens, this is a hard one to recommend on my end. After using this lens, I've used the Canon 135 EF back when I was using the Canon cameras. I've never used the Sony version, but I've used the Samyang Rokinon version. They all produce amazing results. They give you such a great look to your images. But I'm here to tell you that you can get something very similar, or sometimes even better, because you'll be more willing to take it out. And I think the 135 may have its place in situations where you know that you can use it and you have the space for it. Otherwise, it ends up sitting there. And that's what I've been experiencing. I'd be interested to know in the comment section if any of you feel that way. If you had a 135 before or currently have one, are you using it? Is it just sitting there? And it's unfortunate when lenses sit there because I want to use my stuff. It's not the first lens. Sometimes it's the very last lens I'm thinking of taking outside. So today I want to just share the images I got with it. Yes, it's an amazing lens, but I don't think I would miss out if I used two other options that I'm thinking of sharing with you. So the first one would be using an 85-1.4. An 85-1.4 gives you way more space to work with. You can get closer. You can get great separation, great light into the sensor. You won't be missing out in terms of that. You may notice a bit of difference in the compression, but in all honesty, I think I am 100 times more willing to take out an 85-1.4 for everyday shoots, portraits, knowing that I have workable distance compared to with a 135. The other one that I would recommend would be a zoom lens. So a lot of telephotos are not obviously going to hit the 1.8 unless you have that new Sony, which is amazing, the 50 with a 150. That is crazy expensive. If you're looking for an alternative, I would suggest Tamron 35-150, Samyang Rokinon 35-150, the Tamron 70-180. All of these telephoto zooms, yes, they're at 2.8, but because you can go further than 135, you can kind of compensate for that compression loss of 135 at 1.8 by shooting at like 150 or 180, while not losing the flexibility of just going back to 70, back to 35, depending on the lens you choose. So in my opinion, I feel like I've taken those lenses out way more times than the Sigma 135 because of the limitations. I feel like this is a lens you may want to borrow, you may want to rent, unless you really find a good deal and you don't mind a couple $100 just sitting there on your shelf. I think it's a hard recommendation on my end to reflect on having the 135 so many times. And it's, when I think back, I've bought it and sold it so many times, different versions of it, different brands, always getting to the same thing and just not wanting to accept that this beautiful lens isn't as versatile as other lenses. And I think when I took most recently my 85-1.4 out, I think I was able to get just as satisfying images. Obviously can't get as close, but I can move closer. There's some situations where you can do that. But where you can't, the zoom is definitely a great option. So like these shots here, these are 135 super cropped. I could get the same shot without having the crop, probably shooting at 150 or 180 or 200 millimeters. So keep that in mind. And then you notice the size difference. The 85 is just much more appealing to go out with because you're willing to take it everywhere. A zoom lens, probably not as much, but if you're willing to carry a 135, you're willing to carry a zoom lens that is going to give you this amazing versatility. And I think the Samyang Rokinon is one of those. So I hope you enjoyed these thoughts. It's a beautiful lens. I wish I could keep it, but I've been in that situation many times now where it just doesn't make sense. Let me know your thoughts below.